Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today we are starting chapter 19, which is representing data, and today we are going to be looking at bar graphs, histograms, and double bar graphs. Alright, this is just how to draw them, all the things that you need to know when it comes to drawing these graphs. Alright, so let's look at the difference between a bar graph and a histogram. So, a bar graph has spaces between bars, whereas a histogram has no spaces between the bars. A bar graph is used to represent categories and not groups, whereas a histogram is used to represent grouped data. And you can see on the screen the difference between the two sets. Alright, I've given you two examples that identifies the differences. Okay, so keep all of this in mind when you are drawing or asked to draw a bar graph or a histogram. So for the first example, we're going to be looking at how to draw a histogram. If we go back, it's the one without spaces and it is used to group data. Alright, so you can see our data is grouped already and our frequency is our levels for our bars. So the most important thing for you to know is you are not going to get a table like this in an exam, okay? You're going to have to learn to draw it yourself. So first thing is, you need to provide a heading for your table. You get 1 mark for providing a heading. You also need to provide axes headings. So here you'll see a number of learners and here's grouped averages. That's another 2 marks. Okay? Then you got to put your your group data at the bottom. Okay, you'll see it's exactly like its grouped averages over here. It's exactly the same at the bottom. And then your frequency, you can actually choose how much you want to go up. So you could have actually gone up in 1s, in 2s, in 3s, in 5s, in whatever you want to. But just make sure that it's the appropriate amount. You don't want it too small or too big. So I've chosen to go up in 2s because it's easier. Alright, so our first one for group data is 20 to 29 and we have a frequency of 3. So you're going to draw your bar up to 3. Now 3 is in the middle of 2 and 4. So what I would do is I would take my ruler and I would estimate in the middle and then I would draw my bar. Okay? Now please note that my bars are not going to be as accurate as yours will be because I had to do it with a computer and it's a lot more difficult to get it in the middle. Okay, so make sure that you are getting it in the middle though. Alright, the next one is 30 to 39, which is 7. So again, you want to estimate between 6 and 8. This one looks pretty good. Okay, then 40 to 49 is 6. And again, you can see it's not exactly on the line, but that's because it's on the computer. You, with your ruler and your worksheet, are going to get it perfect. Alright, then 50 to 59 is a frequency of 9, so it's between 8 and 10. Then 60 to 69 is 11. 70 to 79 is 13, so it goes all the way up to 13. And 80 to 89 is 10, and that one is perfect. Now, one thing I want you to note is your bars have to have the same width. Alright, so when you are measuring and drawing your bars, make sure that you are measuring them the same size. Alright, if it's 2 centimeters, 1 centimeter, whatever makes you happy, make sure that they're all the same width. Okay, and you have to use a ruler. If your lines were skew and curvy and going all crazy, you will lose marks for neatness and accuracy. Alright, so again, you get another mark for drawing the correct heights. You get a mark for your neatness and accuracy. So are your bars the same? Do they have spaces in between or do they not have spaces? It's a histogram, so it's not supposed to have spaces. So therefore you'll get 1 mark for not putting spaces. Okay, so it's pretty easy, pretty standard. Let's look at how to draw a bar graph. Now a bar graph is with categories and today's categories is colors. And you've got your frequency on the side, which is what we're going to use to draw the bars. And remember that here we need spaces, so provide spaces in between. So again, you need a heading, an axis heading. So our heading here is the grade 8 learners, most popular colors. Then we have a number of learners on your one axis and then your colors on the other axis. Alright, then I've listed all the colors and then I've gone up in 5s. If we look at our data set, we go quite quite high. We go all the way to 65, so I did it in 5s, so it's a lot easier. Oops, all the way back. Alright, so our first one is red, which is 21. So you're going to estimate where 21 is. It's just above 20. So draw your first bar. Then let's look at blue, it's 65. So you can draw your bar all the way to 65. And note my spacing and my bars are the same width. Okay, again, you're getting marks for that. So make sure that you're doing it correctly. Then green is, what was green? Green was 34. So you're going to draw it, estimate where 34 is. It's just below 35. Then we have yellow. Yellow is 15. And that's nice and easy. Then we have purple, which is 5. Orange is 10. And finally we have pink, which is 40. Okay, so make sure you're drawing this with a ruler, that you're measuring correctly, and that you're putting the levels at the correct frequency. Okay, again, this is pretty easy. You can even highlight your bars if you want to make it pretty. Highlight them in different colors, whatever makes you happy. Then our final graph that we're going to be looking at is a double bar graph. So this is when we have like two types of data that are related to the same topic. So for example, our example today is the number of boys and girls that play various sports. Alright, so we're going to have one bar for boys and one bar for girls, and then we're going to have our categories at the bottom and then the frequency on the side going up. So firstly, you want to provide a heading, the number of boys and girls that play various sports. Then the numbers going up is your frequency, and you've got to provide a heading. You can say number of players, and then at the bottom is your categories, which is the type of sports, and then you have to provide a heading for your categories, which is sports. Now the important thing here is you actually have to provide a key for this type of graph, because you need to identify which column is which. Okay, but we'll speak a little bit more about that later. Okay, so let's look. For soccer, there are 100 boys that play soccer, and for girls there are 45. So first I'm going to start with boys. I'm going to draw a column up to 100, and then for girls I'm going to draw a column up to 45. And then I'm going to highlight them in two different colors or color them in with a pencil. You can even put different shapes in to categorize, one for boy and one for girl. So you'll see my boys is green and my girls are pink. And then you are going to use these colors in your key to represent which one is which. So that if a random person has to look at your table, they know which bar is represented by which category and which boy and girl. Okay. Then we have netball. Netball is 80 and 0. Alright, this is a little weird because we have 80 boys playing netball and no girls playing netball. A little bit weird, but it's okay. We're going to move on. Let's look at hockey. Hockey, we have 67 and 52. So 67 boys and 52 girls. Okay, then we have cricket. Sorry, I keep going back and forth, but we need to look at it. Cricket, we have 70 boys and 5 girls. So you're going to draw your green up to 70, and your girls will go up to 5. And then lastly, we have athletics, so 50 boys and 55 girls. So that's a nice representation, pretty much the same. Alright, then once you're done drawing your bars, you're going to color them in like I've done. You don't have to choose the same colors, you can pick whichever colors you like. And then you're going to draw a key like I've done at the bottom over here. And you're going to represent which colors boys and which colors girls. So I drew a block of green for boys and a block of pink for girls, just so that if a random person has to look at my table, they know which one represents which. Okay, again, this is pretty easy. You're going to get a mark for your top heading, you're going to get a mark for your subheadings, you're going to get a mark over here for the correct frequency, a mark for your categories, and then a mark for drawing the correct heights of bars, and then a mark for putting spaces between the bars, a mark for providing the key with the correct different colors. Alright, so you have to distinguish between the two. Okay. Alright, then in our next video we're going to be looking at a pie chart, and we're going to be moving on from there. So I hope this explains bar graphs, histograms, and double bar graphs easy for you. It's a nice easy topic for the exam. I hope you enjoy it. See you guys next time.